I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Cops. To protect and to serve. Well, let's see where this Armageddon Update goes. Now, in the last week, we have had some shite break off in America after the full-out murder of George Floyd by 4 cops for passing a counterfeit $20 bill. Now, America as a group, white, black, Asian, Native American, even some pygmies, have finally hit the end of the rope, and we have decided to hang some racists with that rope. Now, the last 7 days, we have learned that America is a police state, where freedom is just something you read on a greeting card and not reality. Our president, I call him Sweet Potato Hitler, did nothing, again, as the murder of George Floyd ignited a firestorm of rioting and protest, not seen since the Star Wars prequels were released. And our president, who lost by 3 million votes, by the way, did nothing except hide in the White House, or as I call it, Fort Chicken Shit, in the Lincoln bedroom pillow fort while real Americans stood up for liberty and justice. What has happened in America? I mean, the cops in our country used to be people we could depend on. I mean, especially if you were white. Sorry, that's my authentic white guilt spewing out of me. And maybe I was just younger and stupider when I believed that. But God, I have never seen our police be such raging a-holes and do it with such joy. And I think I know why. Cameras.
Get the fuck on! Get the fuck on, you man!
That's why we're seeing it, because every single one of us now has a phone that takes pictures or gathers evidence of horrific behavior of people that are sworn to protect us. And we pay them, and they pepper spray us, run us over, hit us with clubs, shoot us with rubber bullets, real bullets, and threaten to, quote, fuck us up.
Sir, what's going to happen is they're going to start beating the fuck out of you.
Now, I get being a cop is a tough job. I really do, which is why I became a comedian. And even though cop is a tough job, you took it, guys. You get paid. Protect and serve, not pepper spray and stomp. We need police reform in this country, and we need a federal standard. And how about we stop arming police departments with tanks, Humvees, armored vehicles, and fucking tactical nukes? Cops are hired to write speeding tickets and stop wife-beater wearing wife-beaters from beating their wives. Why the hell do you need a rocket launcher and an Abrams tank? I mean, even if the perp is on PCP, you don't need a Predator drone. Bounce his hood off the cop car like the good old days. Not all cops are bad. There are good cops. In fact, I would say good cops are the majority. But officers, if you are a good cop and you don't call out the bad cops, are you really a good cop? Are you? See, here's the problem. Between the police unions and the laws that protect our men in blue, we are pretty much screwed. Because if good cops step forward and turn in the bad cops, then those good cops might get killed because the bad cops they finked on didn't get to the shots fired call fast enough. Oopsie. So until we humiliate, arrest, jail, and shame every corrupt cop, this will continue. You know, I wish cops wouldn't say all black people are bad. Yet in video after video, we see black men being killed by our men in blue. No trial, no due process. Now, I would never say all cops are bad because that would be generalizing. But after giving it a lot of thought, if you are a good police officer, sworn to uphold the law and protect the taxpayers that gave you that job, and you don't call out and turn in the bad cops that do things like, I don't know, kill a man by kneeling on his neck for 8 minutes and 34 seconds, then it doesn't matter how many old ladies you help, how many tickets you write, how many drug dealers you bust. If you see a cop commit a crime and you look the other way, you are actually worse than my ex-wife. Oh, yeah, you heard me. And now I got to go back to family court after that. God damn. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Hey, can someone call my attorney? Everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. Welcome to kind of the end, I guess, of the Riot 2020 week. We can get Riot Week. Sure as hell can't get Infrastructure Week, but tearing shit up, we got you. Good news. We just found out this morning that the other 3 cops who are with Chauvin have also been charged as accessories. Yay! With me, as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And sitting over here, the Highlander.
There could be only one.
Yes. So we are, I don't know. I felt immense joy. And it's weird. Here's what bothers me about this whole thing. These guys should know history. When this happened, all 4 cops had been arrested, we wouldn't have burned everything down.
Right.
It wouldn't have
it keeps happening. Why hasn't anything changed in...
But why is it that but you remember Alton Sterling, you know,
come on, you can do it.
Alton Sterling, who was the
Eric
guy?
Garner.
Eric Garner, all these people that Trayvon Martin, there was Arbery. There was Ahmaud, but again, it comes down to video. The sad thing is it only comes down to video. We were upset. There was some local marches and local protests, but I have never this goes back to historical 60s level, Kent State level protesting. This was pretty intense. And you know what we really got to see, and which is the Armageddon update covered, was how cops, some of them get a lot of joy out of hurting.
6 police officers arrested, 4 or 6 arrested, 6
in
Atlanta for dragging those.
I watched that video. It's brutal.
It's brutal. Those people out of their car. Did you see it?
I didn't see this. No.
Okay. So
what happened now?
They're at a protest. They're in their car.
They're leaving. Everyone's leaving. The protest's over.
There's white people in a car in front of them.
4 people laughing and waving at the camera. The white people are waving. The cops go past that car, go to the car with the 2 black people in it, guy and a girl.
And drag them out. And I mean, the guy at one point is still in his seatbelt.
Trying to get it done.
And they're pulling him from his window and the other way. And he's not.
Fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then they tased him in his car.
Come on.
Oh, yeah. And then they shot.
We're in the middle
the
of
darts. So
arguing about this.
I know. At least pretend for now. At least for now. Keep it down.
And so we got to this weird place where I was watching it every day. And the funny thing is, I thought, there's something different to this one that I saw that I hadn't seen. This time, every day got bigger. It wasn't like one day everyone blew out their energy and then it dissipated. It was every day it got bigger.
Yeah.
And then when Sweet Potato Hitler hid out in the White House and turned the lights off.
He didn't hide. He was inspecting.
He's inspecting. Oh, okay. Just making sure it's all.
On a phone call interview to Fox, he said, "I was not hiding out. We were inspecting the White House." Were you? Were you during the whole thing?
In the dark?
Just like the officer was inspecting his neck, and he was
with his knee.
I was inspecting this bullet.
He was doing a chiropractic adjustment, post-inspection. In my defense,
so Trump actually said that he was. I'm calling it Fort Chicken shit now. I really am, because he has just made the white. Someone actually tweeted to me today. They said that I hope that Joe Biden commissions a new White House. On the grounds, and then because he's just tainted it.
Yeah, just demolish it.
Yeah.
You know they're going to set fire to the tennis pavilion.
Tennis pavilion.
You know, because that's just changing lives there, Melania. I just saw your tweet right before we started about Melania. What did you say? You're alleging that she's like an abuse victim.
Okay, so yesterday there was video of him standing next to her, and because he looked so dumb, he looked really dumb during the launch, because SpaceX launched a rocket. We actually put men in space again.
You know shit's bad in the world when we don't even notice that.
Yeah.
And he landed the booster back on the pad instead of
it didn't land in the
and
ocean.
Nobody's talking about it.
Yeah, we're like, space travel, blah, blah, blah. We're like, look, did you see this asshole? So
it's like last week when there's like, oh, there's aliens? Yeah. All right.
Right.
So basically he's with Melania and they're being interviewed or something, and you can see him, he mouths, smile. And she actually does, it's watch it. It looks like a hostage video. She goes,
oh man.
It's because her face doesn't move. I just
spit.
I just blew droplets. I got so wound
droplets.
up.
Quit saying droplets. It is
all
the worst.
I have to say about Melania is I really don't care. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a willful accomplice. Speaking of being a willful accomplice, the other 3 officers got aiding and abetting a second-degree murder.
Right.
So I was just trying
they
that's what you call a segue back to the topic.
They up Chauvin's charge.
Except the host just goes, "Yep."
Am I supposed to take it now? Am I supposed to take it now? Yeah, by the way, the officers said second-degree murder. What do you want me to do?
I was trying to take you back to what you were talking about before we I'm doing the Lord's work here, and just like the Lord, I'm frustrated.
But here's what they won't take care of. They won't write down that the second they charge the guys, that's all people wanted. Charge the 4 cops that killed this man.
Yeah.
How do we know we killed him? We watched it.
Right.
Isn't it amazing that they didn't? That they just let the riots go on, and I kept saying, just arrest them. You don't have to charge them. You have 24 hours to hold them. Just arrest them and continue to investigate. We have video. But no, they let so many cities get burned.
I will say, I think that it didn't. I think Trump wanted it. Here's what I think. My opinion and my conspiracy theory, he wanted this to break off. He wanted it to get worse. He wanted to actually, and he tried to bring in, and he would look foolish every time. What was great about this is you saw white kids with skateboards breaking windows and black people grabbing the skateboards going, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
The hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
We're protesting a guy's death. We're not breaking shit.
Right.
Then you saw a lot of people in L.A. George Floyd. Are those Nikes my size? Because I'm taking them out of the store.
I was saying, I am really against looting, and I really, it's and the vandalism that's going on.
But then you saw.
But walking past that Chanel store with the front window gone would really test my mettle. I'm just saying. I would be, I owe you 7 bags. Will gladly.
This is a form of protest. It's
I am
my form.
protecting them from the protesters until such time.
George Floyd, and then you would walk away.
George Floyd, say his name.
You're like. I don't. It's not a good look. It's really not a good look to be protesting a guy's death by ripping off a store. But
it's the same with It's the same with police officers. It's the same with protesters. It's a group of human beings, and in every group of human beings, there is a percentage of assholes.
That is true. Yeah. And there's never a 0% of asshole ever.
No, I have not found 0%.
And that's anywhere, church,
ever.
Anywhere.
Families.
Yeah. Right, family, exactly.
My families. Sometimes in my family, the percentage really skews heavy.
I just hope yeah. Well, lately, it's been weird.
It's really weird. Yeah. And kind of awesome.
Yeah. I built a career on it. I built a whole career on the percentage.
I know. I should write a show about all of this. Of course, then the ones that do like me would be mad at me. Right?
No, they wouldn't. They'd still love you. Maybe you shouldn't have done that, but they'd still love you. I used to get all the time. Are you going to tell this story? Are you going to tell this story? Yeah. I still have stuff. Uncle Eddie, Uncle Les. I still have 2 big chunks of story to tell that I haven't.
Not just tell it, but I'm going to dissect it and I'm going to amplify it.
Right.
I'm actually waiting. I told him today, I'm waiting for some people to die. I have bits. They are on the burner.
Oh, they're ready. Okay.
Oh, they're ready to go. They're they're
loaded,
sizzling, but I can't do them until people die.
Yeah.
I mean, legit. Speaking
that's
of
actually a joke. That's
dying,
a joke from the new show.
My grandma is.
You steal my joke, by the way.
What was the joke?
That joke.
I'm not even joking.
Used to be called stories I couldn't tell, but then some people died, so now it's stories I shouldn't tell.
Yeah, I wasn't stealing a joke. I was saying in a very literal sense, I have bits I want to do. I can until they die. I said that to you this morning. But nice try. You invented that.
I've only been doing it for, a year now?
You invented everything.
Just because she stole one joke? I like that she expands it. Her hyperbole just goes so out of control.
Okay, how do I say it then?
No, you're right. You're right. I didn't say you steal it.
Wait, what did you just say?
I said, I say you're fine.
What did you just say?
You're right. You're right.
Say it one more time. Say my name!
Everybody, Rachel Bradley is correct on this subject.
Can you say all subjects?
And she steals.
I can still hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is amplified. This worked. This goes to a thing.
You're an asshole. To my ears, you're an asshole. Speaking of people dying, Grandma has started going back to the gym.
Good.
I can't talk her out of anything, but
why is that about dying?
Because COVID and she's 86. No, have you forgotten we're in the middle of a pandemic? Is everybody forgotten?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm praying to God that tear gas cures COVID-19.
Wouldn't that be great?
Because that would be awesome.
There's a lot of it.
It'd be because then we would just plan Tiananmen giant protests. All right, guys, let us have it. I pray to God.
Windows up at my apartment.
She said she
Bring it
went to
on.
the gym and she wore.
What are you doing? Healing myself.
She worked out in surgical gloves and a surgical mask.
Oh, that's awesome.
And got the spray bottle from the gym and just sprayed it periodically around me on the machine. So I was like, all right, well, that works for me then. Carry on.
If you just go, make sure before you go, leave, wash your hands. When you show up at your next place, wash your hands. Don't touch your face.
But droplets, breathing in. Don't breathe
but
them in.
I'm not working next to the dude. I'm not working next to some guy. I'm not working next to that dude.
Well, she also went at 5 a.m., so
oh, yeah, there's nobody there.
No one there.
Yeah.
Wow, what is she doing up at 5 a.m.?
She's
She's
grandma.
86.
Do you want to know? I shouldn't say. I can't tell you. Let me just say that when you get older, you have to start to plan your day around your poop schedule. So if you go to the gym...
Yeah, you do that now. You poop more than anybody I've ever seen in my life.
We're trying
It's crazy.
to get him a date. Stop talking.
It's a good thing. It's healthy. He's very healthy.
Yes.
He's very healthy.
Regular. I'm a healthy
He's very healthy.
man.
Only men think that that's a positive tick on your Match.com
It
profile.
really is.
If I ever read
Less
a dating
anger.
profile that said I poop regularly,
I guarantee you that every single one of those guys on Cops that was getting yanked out of his house for beating his wife is constipated.
He didn't
He's
take
got
a
some
shit that
trouble.
day.
Yeah, he did not take a dump.
You feel lighter?
If the cops would just sit the guy on the front porch, give him a cup of coffee and a bran muffin, and be like, I gotta go. Give me 5 minutes, but I think
Everybody okay? Go ahead. Nothing to see here.
nothing to see here.
I feel good.
We could stop.
he's never going to get
Flat-foot
laid.
and-
That's what I'm going to say.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's a good man.
He is
That's
a
right.
good man, but you are really regular.
By the way,
I'll say.
Rachel Bradley never poops.
right.
Never, ever.
Right.
No.
Right.
He
Just,
said that this
disintegrates into-
morning when I told him that you said that we were almost out of toilet paper. He goes,
Oh, yeah.
poops more than anybody.
I knew I was going to come
I
around.
said, in his defense, it's been a long time, and we've had a show since then. See, I'm trying to stand up
Right.
for you.
Thank you. Right. And
I'm
I hesitated
envious.
before
I'm not mad. I'm like, damn.
before I hit send the text. I'm like, I'm going to get shit. Literally get shit for this. They're going to be.
So we are now at a place where I think the riots are going to calm down. I pray they are. The overwoke people will still start the old, but it's still, we get it.
The counter
Let's deal with
arguments
this one
always.
right now. And here's what's good. So I want to tell a quick story because I think what happened this time, more than any other time, Eric Garner, these other guys, there was local stuff that happened, but there was never a national outrage. Trayvon a little bit. And I still can't believe Zimmerman's still walking the earth.
But Trayvon, that was
bad. That was
really...
Yeah, we got close on
earth-shattering.
Trayvon. I actually also think this. I think because Obama was president during Trayvon, he was brilliant at calming us down. We all knew it was bad. He said it was bad,
Definitely.
but he was brilliant. Now we've got this racist asshole, and I think what happened was that people were like, "This guy is never going to care. We got to get serious."
Right.
It was. We talked about this. It
Well,
wasn't
and also,
just
this is the first time that white people have joined the outrage. So Trayvon...
in these numbers.
At this-
yes.
at this
there were a
level, yeah.
few here and there, right? We did a podcast or 5 about it, but we all moved on. But now white people are out in the streets and are just as furious and are being hit with tear gas and rubber bullets. I mean, we're standing together now, which is really terrifying for Fatso McDumstein.
But I think it wouldn't have happened. It would not have happened without him being such an idiot.
I don't either. I think that there came a point where people were also expressing their outrage over the last 3 years.
Yeah, we already not talked about that. It wasn't as much as George Floyd's death ignited it.
Yeah.
I think the rest were like, you know what? It's time. This asshole needs to go.
Yeah.
And it's still funny that he did exactly the wrong thing every step of the
time.
way. Isn't it stunning?
Every time.
Every day.
I told my dad that. My dad had part of his lung removed. He's in the hospital. He's
not because of the rioting.
high as shit today. This is when I usually start calling his hospital room, and playing tricks on him and stuff. But that's what I told him. I said he manages to do the wrong thing every time. Because, now he's going to go across the street to Lafayette Park and do a photo op in front of the church, the Episcopal Church, and hold up a Bible, but hold it like he looks at it and holds it like he doesn't know.
Like it was a napkin full of dog shit. That's how he held it.
I picked it up.
Yeah, exactly.
And
see, I didn't burst into flame like you guys said I would.
and as someone of faith, I would want to know where all my people that claim to have faith and support this man are right now, because the Bible says God is not mocked. And you could not argue ever. You could say you like things his administration has done. You could never argue that he is a man of faith. He read the book of the Bible, 2 Corinthians. He doesn't know what he's talking about. We have never seen him in a church. We have never seen him pray. He doesn't know the Bible. He is so out of his league. To see him take the Bible and stand in front of a church is ultimate blasphemy.
But even the way he did it, so he didn't go to a church that was open and working. He stood in front of a church that literally had been burnt down. It was boarded up. On the walls walking to it, it says, fuck Trump. It's the worst photo op ever. There's pictures of him walking past walls that are spray painted on this walk because they were making so much fun of him for locking himself, climbing in a pillow fort and sucking his tiny thumb.
He was inspecting.
Sucking his tiny thumb while protesters were outside. That he said, I got to. So then his show of toughness was not by himself walking out of the White House with maybe 2 Secret Service guys going on to take a picture. They had cops and military and helicopters flying over. And you know who looks really nervous in that walk?
What did he have to do to
do
it?
Bill Barr looks so... everyone's going like this.
What did he have to do to have all those people escort him across the street?
What do you mean? What do you have to do?
He tear gassed the protesters that were peacefully protesting,
and the ministers, the preachers that in the church.
Well, that was my whole point that I was getting at earlier. He always manages to do the wrong thing. So in his show of strength, which only people with zero strength feel the need to make shows of strength,
right? Yeah.
In that show of strength, he gassed one of the pastors from the Episcopal Church who was out there giving food and water to peaceful protesters. And because they never called and told them they were coming over, which now the church is furious. If you guys haven't read it, go read what the pastor says. The bishop, is she a bishop?
I think she's a bishop.
What she says, and at the end she says, I am now a force to be reckoned with. Like, she's pissed. And then so many Episcopal leaders, the head guy came out and just said, this is ultimate blasphemy. It's a disgrace. Maybe he should open that Bible and read it. But they gassed the ministers that were out there helping the people.
He is the ultimate enemy of this
of himself
country.
Yes, of this country.
Yeah.
He is an enemy.
Yeah, and I think that's why when people keep bringing up, I keep seeing these things. It's been a hoax for Putin. No, it wasn't a hoax. Your own Intelligence Committee, the head Republican-led, said no. They tried to get us. And
that it was valid and had nothing to do with the Steele dossier. And then coincidentally, all of the Congress people that were accused of illegal stock activity got let off, except for Burr, who had that Senate
who had the committee,
who's a Republican who
and they got rid of him before he could release. There's a level 5, chapter 5 of it, I guess. I'm sure that's the right thing, but
he's the one that had to step down from the Intel committee that he headed up that found fault.
So if there was any question in anybody's mind, I keep hearing this, he's still going to win. No, he's not. No way. Anybody who says that Trump's going to win, no, he's not. 40 million this week unemployed. 40 million people. That's crazy. So we went from having this economy that Obama built. It was kicking ass, and it was still. If you looked at the trajectory after Trump took over, it didn't. If actually, it started to go down a little bit because he wasn't. Eventually, Obama built us from zero, and we got to here. Then we have 110,000 dead from an avoidable virus. And how do we know that was avoidable? Someone kept saying it could happen to anybody. Well, it did happen to Obama twice. H1N1, 12,000 people died. Should have been 60,000 just based on all estimates, flu estimates. And then we had Ebola where 2 people died. And because he sent 10,000 troops, he got off his ass. Obama was off his ass the second he heard about it.
We had a pandemic response team.
Yeah, we had the teams.
And
no, the pandemic
you guys got to go look.
That was built after Ebola. That was actually built because of Ebola.
I know.
Yeah, right.
When Trump came in, we had a pandemic response team.
In Wuhan.
Why are you agreeing with me now when you said no?
No.
I'm going to kill you.
I know you're correct.
Sleep.
No, you're correct.
Sometimes I watch you sleep.
I know. Sometimes I know. Sometimes I wake up like this. And I look over and you're like, you okay? Yeah, it was. Not now.
Just checking.
She's not kidding, by the way.
Yeah, I am. No. I don't ever watch you sleep. I'm disgusted by you in your sleep. I don't want to watch it. It would just rub it in. He's like, "Oh, babe, can you not sleep? Because I have insomnia a lot." And he feels it. He knows my energy, and he'll go, "Oh, babe, can you not sleep? I'll stay up with."
I'm trying to give you an example of what to do. This is how you do it.
I'll give you an example. Anyway, if you go look,
let me teach you how to do this.
Yeah, in September, Biden tweeted. I retweeted it this past week.
Awesome.
It is awesome. Where he said we're headed for a pandemic if we don't take certain precautions.
Yeah. Yep.
And here we are. Oopsie.
Do you remember what the same day tweet was from Trump?
Oh yeah,
that was a great juxtaposition. Biden. Oh, Biden. Oh, Biden is going to do it.
About
Biden.
About
Joe
the
Biden.
iPhone. He's yelling at Tim, the CEO of Apple, because it was a lot better with the home button instead of the swipe up. The home button was a lot easier than the swipe.
It's a child.
Our president.
On the same day?
On the same day, Biden is warning about a worldwide pandemic that can ruin America. He's like, you know what? This phone is hard. I'm old and I need it the way it used to be.
Biden said we are not prepared for a pandemic. Trump has rolled back progress President Obama and I made to strengthen global health security. We need leadership that builds public trust, focuses on real threats, and mobilizes the world to stop outbreaks before they reach our shores. October 25th, 2019.
Trump. Home button better. This is the president. By the way, and this has happened over and over. And I think we bitch about this way too much. We just got an update.
Alert.
What'd it say? LA County Sheriff's Department will
They
be
changed
enforcing.
the curfew to 10 p.m. to 5
Oh, we gotta
Okay,
go.
all
Hey,
right.
we gotta stay up late.
We're
Dad,
Party time.
mommy and
Listened
daddy,
to it.
mommy and daddy said we could stay up late.
He's been here every night past curfew.
Yeah,
But it's
well, this
because
is to and
he's
from
white.
work. It's to and from work.
I'm pasty. I'm driving a Tesla. I am
That's
not
true.
seen as a threat,
That's true.
That's sad.
except to oil and coal companies. That's the only people.
And yet, honestly, you are the biggest threat that this country has ever seen. If you look at, not you specifically, except when you
Yeah, like-
sleep.
Right.
I just mean in general,
Yeah.
it's so ironic that if you look at what black people have done versus white people, it's pretty astounding
clear.
that we pretend that we're so afraid of black people. It's pretty crazy.
I think
We
well,
lack
we're not-
self-awareness.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that do that. But if you look at Carlin was saying something. George Carlin Ghost retweeted something that really kind of basically it was George Carlin said the cops. He goes, when I was a kid, he goes, I would rather hang out for 16 hours being kidnapped by a criminal than spend 5 minutes. He goes, I didn't even say hi to cops. You get that it's a police state we live in right now. They beat you, they will lie about you, and then they will lie for each other on the stand.
Yeah.
And he break it down. And you know what's weird? I was so I don't want to believe that. I've known some people that are in law enforcement. They're good people.
Yep.
But I guess there is a truth to it that is unnerving, and I think that we need to do something. It's time to actually. The police unions are too strong. They protect cops that are bad cops. What we need to do is a shift. Don't you think we need a shift?
I know, but again, I mean,
no. Well, let me finish. Let me
are
finish.
you going to give the other side?
I am going to give both sides.
Okay.
Right now, even the good cops are saying we can't. If we go and we turn in a bad cop, we're all of a sudden ostracized, and maybe they don't show up to a shooting when that guy needs backup, right? Mm-hmm. So what needs to happen is there needs to be a cultural shift in the police department where if you're an asshole and you're a bad cop, all the other cops are like, "Hey, fucker, you're done," and they have to ace guys like that. I don't quite understand this ability because what's happened now is the people that called in on George Floyd, they came on TV and they said today, we will never call the police on one of our people again. We will handle it ourselves because one of our people called the police on a counterfeit $20 bill. The entire nation erupted into flames because the police didn't handle it. They didn't protect and they didn't serve. They fucking murdered a dude.
But this is what I was saying, is that in any group of human beings, anytime human beings gather, people sort of, naturally, primally assimilate into certain roles and positions, and there's always a certain percentage of assholes.
I know, but we have seen in the last 10 or 15 years because of these video cameras, and by the way, imagine before we had video cameras, how many cops would just unleash, beat the shit out of people, killed them, and we just heard
they just went away.
But now we
no
have
proof
video
of it.
camera. Do you remember that guy a couple years ago? We did the thing about it, and I think it was Charlotte, where the cop has the guy, he tases him, and the guy takes the taser out. He gets up and starts running, and he's running away from the cop, and the cop pumps 6 bullets into his back. This has happened over and over, and we have it on video now. And what scares me is, listen, anybody who puts their life on the line, which these cops do all the time, has my respect. The problem is once you cross that line and all of a sudden you start killing people, and I get it, it's a tough job, it's a tough gig. You've got cops, we need so much more mental health for police officers because the PTSD, black people are always saying, we did the thing the first time where black people got called the N-word, right? There's a video that Alonzo Bowden, great comedian by the way, put up about when he was living in Brooklyn, and it's video in the 70s of these Italian kids running up to this black girl and just screaming the N-word at her. And you see the look on her face. So when cops are treated with disrespect, they're feeling the same thing. Pigs, whatever they're getting called, So they live in a constant state of PTSD.
And that changes their view of people. That changes their worldview and a view of everyone.
Right.
I have seen that within my own family.
Right. They get bitter, angry. Nobody cares about me.
And what they often are seeing is the darker side of life. That cops aren't getting called because someone invented a cure for cancer.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
They're getting called because someone invented.
They're
cancer.
not invited to the birthday party.
No.
Yeah. Come on, you guys are cops.
And so I have seen within my own family people get bitter, and I have also seen. Personally, I have close family members that are in law enforcement and that joined out of a desire to protect and serve and change the world and make a difference. And that person in my family actually refused to do something that was unethical, and then spent 10 years having his life absolutely ruined
by the supervisor because he refused to do the bullshit they wanted him to do, which is illegal bullshit.
I mean, every day it was something new. I mean, even where he was fighting to get his new bulletproof vest, and they stalled it, and then finally gave him an old one that was out of date and way too big for him, so it left wide gaps on either side where his heart is.
I thought it was too small for him.
It was too big. And so then they sized it down, and he ended up having to go all the way to the top of the chain and report them, and then
just to get his bulletproof vest.
Wow.
So
even within the departments, it's this. Oh my God.
Yeah, because you're loyal. They've become a gang. Here, it's our fault too, though. Because cops are treated with such disdain. When you see a cop, nobody goes, "All right, a cop." We all go, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Like you focus. Yeah.
I don't.
Is my registration?
What are you up to?
You don't know. So what happened yesterday? I got this. Went to Home Depot to pick something up. Mask on, gloves on. Went inside. Came out. And in the back of Home Depot, there was a cop in one of the Ford Explorers sitting there, and by himself. Just sitting there watching. I guess riots were happening, so not in the valley, but down in A. So maybe they had them stationed there in case something broke off.
Or he was hiding.
Or he was like, I ain't going to the riots anymore. I'm done. And I pulled up next to him very slowly. I didn't race up. And I said, "How you doing, man?" And this cop rolls down his window and he just goes, "I'm tired, man. I'm tired. How are you?" And I said, "I'm doing all right, man." And I said something to him that we have to change. First of all, we have to change what racists think about people of color, period, flat out.
That's the root of it,
There was a great, brilliant professor on. She goes, there is not a bunch of different races. There's one race, the human race. Some people have more melanin, that's it. Same shit, same stuff.
It's the weirdest shit to me.
No,
it's what blows my mind. Yeah. Literally, this is the correct
one race.
Use of the word
one
literally.
Species.
Yes, and that it's just a pigmentation.
Right.
I'm so confused why
but we're talking about this in 2020.
I know.
I had this conversation at 4 years old.
We talked to our friends Mahogany and Bay. Mahogany was in that video the first time that we did, and Bay is an attorney, and he texted us back, and he said it's so ingrained in society. He said, go read the definitions of black and white, just the words black and white. And I was shocked. It was like the third definition of black. It's like evil, dirty, criminal. It's like all these words that are legitimately associated with black people by a lot of racist people. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I pull up to the cop.
Yep. I thought you were done.
No, you interrupted.
He was tired.
You started talking.
Sorry.
No, he's tired, and I talked. I said, "How are things going?" And he goes, "It's a tough time right now." And I said, "Well, I want to thank you for something." I said, "I know what you're dealing with is very tough, and I want to thank you for taking care of us, because I wanted to get like two things: thank him A for taking care of us, but B, we have to see cops. Here's the problem: we all see cops as oppressors and bad. What's happened is." I know you don't, but most people do.
But I'm not a criminal.
But right now,
like you,
I'm not a criminal.
You're always breaking the law.
I'm a criminal mastermind. It's different. So what happens is that when we treat whether you think all black people are bad and get freaked out at the ATM, or whether you think all cops are bad, you're still either way you're fucked up. So you have to start seeing cops as taking care of us and let them know that, so they take
it's
that
reciprocal.
on. If cops take it on, if you say thanks for taking care of us, and they go, oh, I do take care of everybody. Hold on, everybody, calm down. And as many videos as we saw of cops shooting people with pepper spray, tear gas. I saw one cop walk over a woman's on the ground crying. He walked up and kicked her in the face. There's video of it, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then there was another cop. There's people sitting. They were protesting on the highway, and they were sitting there. And this cop just went up with that big giant pepper spray canister and pushed people over and went bam, this close to their face. And I was like, that's not your job, bro.
So no, you can't be pissed off. You can't be in a war.
You're better than us.
But then you go and see the chief of police in Houston marching with
and that other sheriff in like Missouri or something was like, I'm marching with you guys. Let's go. He goes, this ain't a protest. It's a parade. Let's do this. Then you saw that, and then I saw. I'm gonna start getting choked up. I saw a bunch of girls went up to a bunch of cops in line and just put their arms out to hug them, and the cops hugged them, and soldiers too. And I just thought that's where I think Trump got lost, because he thought this was going to be cops and black people fighting, and he could bring the hammer down. And it wasn't what he thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Be very clear. So he has said that he's going to mobilize the military. And Letitia James, the AG of New York, came out and she was like, oh, I love her.
She's a female Samuel
Jackson. My money is still on her to take his ass down, because she's got all these cases against him in New York, just waiting for him to get out of office.
And the Jeffrey Epstein evidence.
Yes. But she told him that he could meet her on the steps into the courthouse if he tried that. I mean, she was like, no, you don't.
This woman. Boom. Look up Letitia James.
So be clear, why he mobilized the military into Washington, D.C. is because it's not a state. And so it's not governed by the same laws. So he's trying to do this huge show of force, which is what he does. Look how powerful I am. Yeah. And yet we haven't really seen it moving into any states yet, because he knows he's going to be met with opposition. He's trying to enact the Insurrection Act of 1807.
I heard a bunch of legal arguments on that, and they said it's actually not valid. It doesn't apply. It does not apply.
Well, she gave some arguments as well on Rachel Maddow, and she was saying precedent as well matters in law. And all along, it's been states' rights. You know, we have amendments that afford us rights to govern and police our own states. And so,
which was great to watch the governors when he goes, all right, I'm calling in the military. And the governors went, not in my state, you're not.
Right.
It's like, it's almost like, every time he wants to bring his foot down and show he's a tough guy, everyone else goes, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like everybody just goes, dude, shut up.
Because he's the guy that inspects the bunker in the dark. Like, really?
Guys, there's protesters, bunker inspection. Everybody in.
So you're right.
Because he's the guy that they always get up to go do manual labor and anything that requires physical work, right? Hey, Mr. Trump, let's go down in the cellar and investigate right.
We need some help on bunker inspection. Come on.
You know, more than anything, Melania was pissed she had to be in the same room. She was like, oh, man, this job sucks. She had to sit in a bunker with him overnight.
What's really funny is that she looks, you're right, she earned it. She knew the contract when she signed it. Fat rich guy, you're going to live with a fat obnoxious rich guy. But imagine, there's no amount of money. There's no amount of money. And she's lived with him long enough now where she's going to leave with a large amount of money.
If she airtight prenup, airtight, I would argue.
So she's going to get nothing. I know with his other two wives, there was like a base level, like 30 million or something. But I'm okay with that.
Sure.
I'm not, you know.
Well, you would have to think that he got better at it. He's really good at anything litigious. I mean, he's just good at hiring criminals to represent him to
lawyers.
do. Yeah. But I would say maybe she gets a small payout, but I would bet you that he's pretty slimy. I would bet you that it's got something to do with the kid, her only child. I would bet you. Not that she's a good person. Don't get me wrong. She's a horrible, rotting soul.
But from the picture on the airplane where she's in the bikini with the gun on the airplane in the high heels,
yeah, she was
to
fine.
Now, it's almost like that Twilight Zone episode where you can have everything you want, all your biggest dreams. You're gonna come from your horrible country, and you're gonna live here, and you're going to be the wife of a president, and then it's this guy.
This president.
It's
right.
I just picture Rod Sterling coming in. Picture, if you will, a beautiful woman, a model, could have any man she wants, and she chose the man she wants, and he's this guy. Sweet potato Hitler.
No amount of money. I couldn't sleep with that guy for any amount of... I mean, no. You could say $1 billion, and I would never be able to get that memory out of my brain. How could I enjoy spending that money? I would have to become a drug addict, and I'd die anyway, because I couldn't...
You're permanently wrecked.
Oh, I mean, you would be traumatized.
Orange powder.
Yeah, I just couldn't get out. I can't get the orange off. I just can't get it off.
And that fake hairspray that creates the strands,
he'd get down and look over at you. Did you like that?
No.
Toilet paper piece hanging out of her.
I mean,
hold on.
even
Kablurb.
Even when you look at the pictures early on with, you know, where he's out partying with Jeffrey Epstein and Melania, and Melania's like, you know how she does. That's her
blue
look.
steel look.
Do it again. Do it. Right in the camera. That's gonna be the thumbnail.
So she's doing that look. She's happy then. That was what she wanted. But you look at him. He's already was fat and nasty and gross. His eyebrows in that picture, you guys got to go look at it. They're winged up because he's got old man eyebrows, no offense. And they're winged up into like these. I look at your eyebrows when you sleep. That's what I'm doing.
Well, because I keep waking you up. To my turn, they go. They just kind of rub your back. I'm like, are you touching me? No, it's my eyebrows. Sorry. I'm blinking.
I cut your eyebrows when I cut your hair.
I've been doing it pretty. It's better. It's better than it was.
I got a full salon going at the house right now.
Come on, look at this haircut. Bombshell did this. Is that crazy? Bombshell did this haircut.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Well, you've got it. It's not styled well. Let me just say, when I styled it, it was perfect.
I did it forward like you wanted it.
I did my... No, I just want to fix a couple things before you attribute it to me. My sister, I did her hair as well, too. And that was a tougher gig. Because my sister has platinum hair is in spikes, and so she's got black roots and platinum hair, so you can see every mistake you make, and it still looked really good, you have to admit, even though you're on your phone. I'm not.
It was my agent calling, and I want to tell him I doing the podcast. I'm gonna call you right back.
How very Hollywood. My agent's on the phone.
My stylist is...
Hold on, the podcast.
There is a new... Have you watched the Jeffrey Epstein thing on Netflix?
Oh, I started that.
It's 4 parts. We stayed up until 4 a.m. We watched all 4 of them. You know what? I'm really sad that Jeffrey Epstein is dead. I wish he was still alive so we could torture the living shit out of him. So we could literally drag him behind a truck until his head popped And I
off.
said, he's being tortured now. You don't do things like he did and not pay for that. It's pretty...
So Jeffrey Epstein, and the thing is that, and then
a lot of connections to Trump,
and 26 flights with Bill Clinton. They have it
and
on. They actually have it on the flight records. And they had a guy that worked at the island, Kevin Spacey. They have a guy that worked on the island that was like, I walked in one day and Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein were talking. And so here's the thing: what exactly would Jeffrey Epstein have to do with Bill Clinton? and we know the guy trafficked. I mean,
money. He contributed
Yeah, I
a
was gonna say
lot of
funding,
money
but then-
to
Okay,
a
why
lot
would
of
you-
now,
people.
because the guy was very clear to say that Bill Clinton, I never saw Bill Clinton with a girl here. I never saw Bill Clinton here when there was one of the orgy parties. I never saw it. He did say very clear about that. He did say that.
Under duress.
Yeah, but then
Possibly.
we saw flight logs where he was 23 or 26 times. So that guy saw one time. I'm wondering if the other 25 times there were girls there. And do we find it so hard to believe?
No, and the sad thing is that it was disappointing to see it. It was disappointing to hear it. But even more so, these girls that they grabbed were 14 years old. They were 14, and he was having those girls. If let's say one of the girls said, "No, I'm not doing this," he would say, "Okay, do me a favor though. I'll give you $200 if you actually give me some girls from your school. Bring them over for massages."
Goddamn.
And he
It
did
all
it.
started with him just getting massaged all the time in his
Right.
Florida house.
Was it 46 girls that came forward total or something like that? And he said, and we were just talking, how many hundreds more were there?
Yeah.
That was just one.
They
of
said
the-
there were a lot that would not come forward because they were afraid.
I was surprised that his wife was in on it. She was like,
girlfriend, yeah.
or girlfriend.
Yeah, Ghislaine, whatever her name is.
Pretty gross. And now there were no charges, but she went.
She disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah, she disappeared.
But she helped him. She was a
Right.
part of it. And then there was this whole weird thing where he was like possibly Leslie Wexner's boyfriend, because during a deposition the lawyer asked him, "Are
Leslie
you
Wexner
gay?"
he owned the Limited and
The Limited, which owned
Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Express and
Yeah, and then
lot of-
Wexner. So they even asked him. It's great to watch. It's so weird to watch narcissists being interviewed and being busted, because I've seen it with my ex. I saw it happen in
Right.
deposition. They're asking Jeffrey Epstein. There's a couple things, and the guy's okay. I guess we're being attacked.
another
the ghost,
ghost.
the
It's a
ghost of Jeffrey
ghosty.
Epstein is what that was.
oh, it's creepy.
He just
Yeah.
dropped
He
from
just dropped
the rope.
his egg-shaped penis on the ground.
Oh, don't spoil it.
I didn't get that far. Damn it.
Spoiler alert.
So that's what they said. So the guy's first question he asked was deposition. So we have some reports that that your penis is shaped like an egg. It's very thick at the bottom and then tiny at the top.
Is that true?
That's the first question. And you see him just go. He just goes, and you just.
The guy's trying to disarm him.
You
know?
see the machinery just lock up, man, and he just goes, and he takes it off, and he gets up and he walks out, and he realizes he can't do that. He takes the mic off.
He didn't answer any questions, though.
No.
Every question he either took Fifth Amendment rights, or he would look at his attorney before he would even try to answer, and basically signal his attorney, go ahead and object.
Yeah.
And so he didn't answer one question. It was either Fifth Amendment or I object based on blah blah blah.
And when you get, and then there was like a moment where they were saying that one of the girls was taken to Trump's Mar-a-Lago place to massage Jeffrey Epstein, and
She was taken from
They're all
Trump,
connected.
from Mar-a-Lago.
Jesus.
is that what
She
it
was working in the locker room at Mar-a-Lago.
That's right.
The girl that ended up being one of the biggest, she was the one that was sourced for Prince Andrew, who said he
Oh,
sweat
right.
profusely. He actually does have a disorder that causes him to sweat. And then he gave that interview that was, you just need to watch.
You got to watch it, guys. It's. I mean, here's the thing, but it's almost like Tiger King. At the end, you're slimed. At the end of it, you're just like, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah.
Like you have to go watch a Pixar movie after it,
Right.
just to feel
Right.
better
Just
about
to
the
clean up.
planet. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
like, I gotta,
Yeah.
I gotta clear my brain. Come on, Wall-E, Toy Story, Jesus, I gotta get this
The
out.
Pixar shower.
Yeah, I gotta watch Us one more time.
Yeah.
Because it does. Tiger King and the Jeffrey Epstein thing really slimed me. I was like, I don't even.
To
wanna-
be fair, Us slimes me too. She dies within the first 10 minutes. I'm always like, come on. What
That's
kind
a
of
Disney
movie
thing,
is
though.
this?
Oh, you're talking about Up, not Us.
Up.
Us. That's a totally different.
Yeah,
Totally.
Up.
I didn't see that one,
Up,
but
Up,
You haven't
right,
seen Up?
no, I've seen Up, but I haven't
Oh.
seen Us.
Up. Sorry, I got it wrong.
UPS. I've seen UPS. I've seen
It's Up, where she dies. Spoiler alert! And Up within
also
the
loses-
first
she
10
also loses
minutes.
a baby in
She
the
Right.
loses the baby, and
In a
then
cartoon.
has her heart broken, and then gets cancer and dies, and then he's left all alone
Right.
in the first 10
Right.
minutes.
And now let's start the fun.
And he's a pedophile. So it's all it's
It's literally in the credits. I watched it. I
He's a
remember.
pedophile?
I remember that. I went and saw. I love Pixar so much. I went and saw the movie in the theater, and I watched. I was like, really? Is this really? Is how they're starting this movie? Usually the Disney will wait till the 3/4 mark.
He's not allowed to put any movies on where dogs die. Any movies with dogs are out because you already know they're going to die.
No.
If they're real movies. No movies or cartoons where the husband or wife die. I can't. Or mom or dad. No, nobody dies.
So no movies. We watch
Right.
no movies. Unless something's blown up, or it's too wacky, kind of smarmy.
Oh, no,
smart,
we watch.
smart cracking cops
Right.
going after a bad guy. We can watch that one.
The rich guy who brings in all
We've
the young
seen
princesses.
Bad Boys 1, 2, 3, and 4 65 times.
We watched Back to the Future again, trilogy.
all 3 of them.
We love
Those are
those.
great, yeah.
Thank you, quarantine.
Bridesmaids, I will watch. He's
Yeah, that's
finally,
great, yeah.
he's so over me watching Bridesmaids, I think.
It's awesome. Well, we've seen it 35 times, and I finally recorded it. It was
So
on
that I can
HBO. I
watch it
recorded it.
whenever I want.
We saved it on the thing.
yeah.
We saved it in the queue, and anytime she watches it,
It makes me laugh every time. The plane scene, I will just watch just alone. It's my favorite. It's my favorite.
I gotta watch that again. I don't
Bridesmaids is a high point in comedy in the last 10 years. I would put
In
it
many ways.
easily up there with the original Hangover. Easily, I mean.
Oh, Hangover was good too.
Yeah, there's the original one. I think there's a couple Special Unit. I'd put it up there with
Yeah.
Special Unit, which is on Amazon Prime right now. I directed it. Yeah, go watch it.
Yeah, you did. And you wrote it.
I did write it.
And you starred in it.
I starred in
Who's a narcissist?
Yeah, but at least I'm trying to do something with my narcissism.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I'm not recruiting 14-year-old girls.
Hey, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why did Trump talk to Putin 2 days ago in the middle of all these riots and him inspecting the bunker?
I don't
There
know.
was a report that
Not enough gold.
I just heard it on the news, but I didn't. Nobody said why, and that's what I mean. These normally
Yeah.
big news points are just
That we'd all be talking about.
being brushed
Right.
under the
Right.
rug, right? Even the Senate Intel report coming out that said that no Steele dossier, everything was done procedurally.
The FISA warrants were exactly right. Yeah.
That never got noticed, not even a blip. Even Hillary Clinton, his own Justice Department investigated the email debacle and any crime associated, and they were cleared of all wrongdoing.
And that was all Republicans, by the way.
Again, and it was Trump's DOJ, and nobody talked about that either.
Do you know why? Because he continues. He say what you will. The guy is a huckster to the nth degree. He is everything that we have heard of every character from a snake oil salesman. The Simpsons did monorail. It's that guy. And what he's brilliant at is he's like a great magician. And he just distracts.
Okay, he detracts.
Distracts. Thank you. You got it wrong too.
I wasn't listening to you, so I thought you were trying to say detracts.
Welcome to my life.
And then I listen to you when you sleep.
Angrily. Why is he sleeping? Son of a bitch. I feel it. Like I feel there's animosity while I'm sleeping.
Do you know what was really sweet? My grandma thought it was really funny. You did a couple weeks ago. It was like my third night in a row of not being able to sleep. I've been worried about my dad and stupid stuff.
You're also
and
really fun to wake up next to when you don't sleep.
thank you.
Nothing else in the world going on.
Yeah,
It's
right.
all
Not
calm.
stressed.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's really and you heard that I wasn't sleeping. You felt the vibe, and you said, you know what, this night you did say you were going to stay awake until I could fall asleep so I wouldn't be alone. And I was just thought, how sweet is that? And so I fell asleep, and then I periodically would wake up. I always do. And every time I'd look over, he'd be sitting there wide awake on his computer, and he sat there. Do you remember this morning? I told you this until 7:30
till like
in the
8 in the
morning,
morning, yeah.
and got up and took. You had to take the cat to the vet.
Yep.
or
I had to
something.
take it to bed, and I didn't
But
sleep
he
that
never
night.
slept at all. I kept waking
You
up
just
and
pulled an
seeing
all-nighter
Dude,
completely.
well, once I committed,
pass a point.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm 2 hours from sunrise.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Right.
And then I couldn't
You
sleep.
just got to muscle through
And
it.
and by the way, she was so happy that I
was
didn't
thrilled.
sleep at all. She was like, oh
No,
my
I
God, you didn't sleep
wasn't.
at all? That's awesome. She was
That's
stoked.
the love.
I was not.
You're lying.
No, I
You were
wasn't.
so happy.
I don't wish that on anyone. Trust me, it's brutal, especially once you get into 2 and 3 nights.
That's
Oof.
true.
He was talking to him about the pandemic as well as the G7. As of 5 hours ago, he demands that the G7 have Vladimir Putin in the room.
What is the what? He can't do this. What is he doing?
credits the Kremlin leader with saving Texas oil jobs despite other leaders' veto on reinviting Russia.
Okay, so by the way, people, just pay attention to this. Pay attention to this kind of shit. So we didn't pay attention to it and didn't even know what was going on. Why? Because we had the cities
We're shut down.
aflame in the summertime, and the beat goes on. Boom, boom, boom. Still, how did the Temptations write "Ball of Confusion"? And it's every couple of years the song becomes so relevant again.
Right.
So, so he's talking. So explain this to me. Anybody have any insight? Please go to the ChristopherTitus.com page. Go hit the contact page and explain this to me. Especially if you're a Trump person. Why the hell is this man in the middle of the country on fire? Why is he talking to a dictator in a foreign country who doesn't wish us any good, only wishes us harm? And then he's trying to get him back into... I don't get it.
So he's demanding that he be in the room. Now,
and this
the other members, so Russia was kicked out in 2014 for annexation of Crimea. It was then the G8. The other members have expressed that they're not having Russia be in the
Merkel
G7.
said no. Macron said no. Trudeau said no.
And they have to agree on members, but as summit host, Trump can invite whomever he wishes to be guests. He has said that he plans to have Putin as a guest in the room for the talks, as well as 3 other nations. Who do you think that's going to be?
But still no collusion.
I'm calling Saudi Arabia,
North Korea,
and Iran.
No, Erdogan, Turkey.
Oh,
Not
right.
Iran. He's going to have Erdogan.
Turkey,
Because he's got hotels in Turkey. So here's the great news. We know how to protest now, and we know that it works. I would say that if he brings Putin in, what an asshole. Like, doesn't he even understand what that looks like? What does Putin have on him that in the middle of a riot, in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of 40 million Americans out of work, what does Putin have on Trump that Trump's like, yeah, we're inviting him over. Yeah, he's going to come over and hang out with us
for dinner.
And I was like, that asshole?
Buddies.
And then the whole world's like, that asshole? We don't hang out with that asshole. And then he's like, no, well, he's coming over. It's my house. And I brought the beer. My parents are out of town for the weekend. We're going to Camp David. Shut up.
They also discussed efforts to defeat the coronavirus and to reopen... What did I say?
Defeat? You said defeat? Which, whatever. Defeat? I'm not sure what word you used.
Well, the next word was novel, and I decided to take it out. Because why do you have to say novel
so you blended
coronavirus?
the V?
Because we all know which one I'm talking about. So I combined defeat and novel to defeat.
I like it. It works.
Thank you.
Go with it.
Coronavirus and reopen their respective economies, because he's doing so much to do both, isn't he? He's defeating the coronavirus. What could he have to talk about, possibly?
There is nothing more damning that backs up everything that the Intelligence Committee said about Russia interfering in our election than him saying, against the will of every other leader in the world in the G7, then inviting him to hang out with us. This guy doesn't wish us well. They were saying that part of this racial unrest, Putin wanted this. I love that. By the way, to all you protesters and all you people that instead of going crazy and breaking shit and setting shit on fire, that hugged cops, that talked to cops, that actually did the right thing, that kept their hands up so the cops never got stressed. It's so impressive, because what you did was you didn't just not get hurt and you did the right thing. You actually shut down Trump in a way that he didn't expect. Yeah. Don't you agree with that?
Yeah.
You know,
silver lining is that we're all, like we were talking about, we're all kind of a lot more unified than we have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hey, bro, you can't keep doing it. We're done. Actually, we're tired.
You're done.
You've gotten away with a lot of shit, and that's largely why we're so tired. Yeah. So you can send out your troops. You can go on TV and do little press conferences. You can hide in your bunker, but we're going to storm the White House.
Yeah. I think that's what freaked everybody out. I think there was a point. Well, today they actually moved everything back another half block. Like I've never seen in my life. I've seen them dancing in front of the White House when Bin Laden got killed. I saw them peacefully protesting, not protesting, but when 9/11 happened, backing up President Bush. I've seen crowds in front of the White House when 9/11 happened. Yep. I have never in my life seen thousands of people surrounding the White House because the guy inside is such a...
They set fire to vehicles all around the White House. They vandalized every surface with things like "fuck Trump," Black Lives Matter, different things. They broke in to the bank on the corner right in front of the White House. The windows were gone from the. I mean, it looked like a war zone.
I wonder, has this ever happened ever in our country's history?
I don't think that close to the White House, even in the 60s, I don't think it was this bad. I mean, there was Kent State happened and stuff, but the White House?
How bad did the Ferguson riots get?
In Ferguson, it got bad.
I know.
Burned everything down. I remember a Pizza Hut burning, and I was
nationwide though.
No.
Was,
we watched it, but it wasn't. Yeah,
right.
Even the Trayvon Martin stuff, it wasn't like this.
Right,
this was crazy.
The crazy thing is, because there's a tweet for everything, you can go read Trump's tweets about Ferguson and how it's a top-down leadership problem, and the president is responsible for blah blah.
Yeah. Whenever this riot breaks out and you can't control cities, you should just step down immediately as president.
Yeah.
Here's what he said. This is how we knew he was going to talk to Putin. He was on Fox and Friends on Monday, of course, because he needs his fuel,
on Fox and
right?
Friends? Oh.
During all of this. Yeah, he came out of the bunker to call into Fox and Friends, and he said, right after this call, I'm speaking to a gentleman named Vladimir Putin. So he calls Vladimir Putin a gentleman, but think about what he calls our intelligence officials, our military leaders like Vindeman.
Good people on both sides.
Our Speaker of the House. I mean, what he calls everybody else.
Former vice president, former presidents,
Yes,
how he speaks about former presidents.
What did he say
how he speaks about women.
What did he? It's so funny when this has all come apart. Honestly, this is the worst presidency in our lifetime, easily. Yeah, it's a failed presidency beyond.
He's not a president. He was never our president.
He's a reality television star. And that wasn't his show. That was Mark Burment that made that show work. We have he bankrupt casinos. This guy's the biggest loser we've ever had, ever. I mean, by the way, and I'm going by numbers. 40 million unemployed, 110,000 dead. There's going to be a lot more dead, especially in 2 weeks when all these COVID people that were out protesting.
A lot of them without masks or masks
around
their chins.
I'm so concerned about that. I honestly, it's a joke, but I pray to God tear gas kills COVID-19.
Right.
I pray to God that as these people were getting tear gas, the virus was dying.
Right. It's just yesterday. Was it yesterday or Sunday? I think it was yesterday. That there were protests right down the street from my house.
You had to leave.
I had to hurry up and get home.
Yeah.
And because the National Guard.
But by the way, great way to get out of work.
I was going to say, later I thought, that could have been a picture of any National Guard anywhere.
Why are these only Chinese people? Is this Hong Kong? What the fuck? Dude, does he live in Hong Kong? Because these are all Asian people.
I photoshopped them.
It's just you and Wyatt.
With some costumes on.
Like the Zoom backgrounds you can pull down. His is rioting behind him.
Gotta leave work.
I got a green screen behind me. I'm live here at my bunker. I'm inspecting my bunker.
So you're home.
Oh yeah. So and just the other day on Sunday there were protests and they threw tear gas. This is in Beverly Hills. There was this protest going on and they actually threw tear gas.
Beverly Hills. You know what? Oddly enough, it smelled amazing.
Lavender scented tear gas.
Lavender tear gas. Oh my God, it's horrible, but so soothing. Aromatherapy tear gas.
In Beverly Hills.
So I thought it was going to happen.
Right.
So I'm getting all the duct tape ready, shutting the windows. I'm like, oh shit, here it comes. But no, it was
I'm getting all the duct tape ready.
There is that your first line of defense?
Is duct tape. And WD-40.
Are you sure you're not from the South? Where are you from?
I got some hangers.
I'm from
Where?
Philly.
I forget.
What, Philly? I'm from Philly.
Philadelphia.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You don't have any accent though, which is what everyone says to me.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not a fan.
When you drink,
she got rid of her southern accent too.
A little bit. Do you drink? You don't drink ever, do you? This is important
when I do,
for the
it doesn't.
ladies to hear.
No, it doesn't. I have people in my family that do have the accent. I don't know how.
Both of you guys have done this though. And it's weird because I couldn't tell where you're from. Very rarely, once in a while, it comes out with you.
Oh, it
and
comes
Mom
out,
would come
I hear
out, but you guys have gone out of your way to speak very clearly, and you sound like you could be from anywhere.
Oh, so I didn't.
You got
realize
rid of that Philly thing.
Huh.
You got rid of it. You got it. Don't.
Did
it
I?
don't,
Is it?
It don't exist. You probably can't
hear my accent.
Have you ever heard Billy Gardell speak? That's what people from Philly
Hey,
sound
don't,
like.
Titus. Hey, let's go. Let's drive Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you guys.
Oh, he's
Tuesday.
Pittsburgh. That's right. That's right.
I went around
Pittsburgh.
Billy's neighborhood. Holy crap, Billy's legit. Like Billy, when anyone has any question about Billy Gardell, we don't want to hear your opinion because I went through him and I drove around his neighborhood and I met his people. Holy, Billy's hard. Billy was raised in a Martin Scorsese movie from the 70s. It's crazy. Little tiny box houses, bar across the street that everybody hung out in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love when people
Sounds
get.
familiar.
It's funny. Richard Marx has become a bit of a friend and. Name drop, but it's funny to watch people because he's really outspoken online, as am I, and it's amazing how people get this thing where they're like, dude, just play your fucking music and shut up, dude, just be funny and shut up. Why?
Right.
I'm actually smarter than you because I made it here. I came from where you came from, but I made it here. I'm actually smarter than you.
People want to put everybody. I mean, we're back to that's racism. People want to just put people in a box, label them, put them in. This is what. Well,
if people,
this is black people and brown people are this, and
it's the same thing. You cannot marginalize a human being because what they do for a living. You just can't. It's just the same bullshit everywhere. I'm not arguing that I'm more qualified like this prima donna just did. I am just arguing that I am equally qualified. You may be a greeter at Walmart, and I am saying that you are equally qualified to speak about how you feel about politics. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying that my response to them is it's always the guy with there were 3 people or but to me it's always like why do you think that me busting my ass since I was a teenager and making it in a business at 2% people, why would you think that was easy? Why would you think that makes me dumber than you?
Because you're supposed to just entertain. And I want you to dance, monkey, dance. That's why. I pay you. I don't pay you for your opinions. I pay you to shake your purty little white pearly teethies.
I love this character, by the way.
That's what they do, though.
Yeah, right.
It's the dance monkey dance thing. And I'm like, P.S., not doing it for you, bitch. Doing it to get back at my family. You don't even figure into this equation.
And by the way, keep your $20.
So take a seat. Right. And do you really think you're paying my salary? I'm good without your...
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And for my shows, quite frankly, $12.
Wednesday.
Or free passes. So keep your free pass. I don't need it. I'm going to say what I want to say. You save your free pass for someone else. That's the
I don't get complimentary tickets to hear you talk about politics.
Actually, you do.
Actually,
that's exactly what they're for.
All right. So do we have an advertisement today?
I don't know. We have 2 advertisers.
Yeah. Yes, we do. We're back, baby.
Oh, we're back. Good.
That's what,
We're back in business, baby.
I just want to make
Cindy
sure.
said, actually. We're back, baby.
Because, by the way, I want people to know that we thank these people for sponsoring the Titus Podcast.
We love them.
You know, it's weird because we talk so much shit, too. And these Armageddon updates, no, they're a little tart. A lot of them are tart.
A little bit.
And that these companies back us up is pretty cool.
Yeah, but we love these companies.
We
these
do. No.
companies we have
well,
today,
we won't use a company that we don't like their stuff.
These companies, I like that they're staying with us because, again, so relevant for what's going on right now. Liquid IV. Sponsored. A lot of people have been sending me emails asking what it is. Liquid IV. Hence, IV, liquid. And you don't have to get the needles.
But you don't put it in an IV. Please, she just that's not, you put it in water and drink it. Don't let her.
They're trying to tell you that this is a way to replenish your electrolytes and the like by just drinking something. So we just got more of these. We order these and we buy them at Costco.
We've been buying them for a long time.
Everybody knows. Yeah, we love these people long before. So check this out. So my sister came to visit. And clearly we were, drinking. We were day drinking. We were night drinking.
By the way, they were clearly drinking, and both of them were drinking so much they were very unclear. Continue.
We had very fun.
Is that when the Southern comes out?
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, yeah.
We were in the hot tub drinking champagne.
Floating
and then
around the pool.
Would float in the pool and have Aunt Kathy's purple drinks. I mean, it was a whole thing. But she already was having headaches when she first got here because it's so much drier here and she's used to having humidity and stuff. And so the first day she said, I just have this headache and I can't get rid of it. And so I gave her one of the liquid IV packets because it comes in a little plastic, like tear off top, and you pour the powder in your water bottle, shake it up. And she said, "What is this?" And I said, "Just trust me. It's an easy, quick, safe way to hydrate your body." Yeah. And it's equivalent to drinking 2 to 3 bottles of water, which you can't do that quickly or absorb it all. And so she was very skeptical, and she tried it, and about 20 minutes later, it took maybe 20 minutes, she was like, holy crap, headache gone, no problems whatsoever, was able to drink like a fish the rest of the trip. And then every day I saw her, she was in the pantry getting another one, drinking.
So 2 things that I have with it is, like, if I sometimes I'll forget, I'll be here working or do something, and I won't drink water all day, and I start to get that weird hollow feeling. Yeah. And I have one of those, boom, it goes away. And it's weird because I'll get anxiety filled when I get dehydrated. I don't even know why that. I'm like, oh my God, the world's ending. And of course, I've been seeing on TV the world's been ending. So
maybe you're just dehydrated all the time.
Maybe it's just the world's ending. But to have one of those, it goes away. Also, if I drink, the next day, I pound one of those.
You do 2 the night before bed, and then 1.
Sometimes. So I've learned, when you become that much of a drinker.
I know that because they're on the counter when
So I'll get 2 of them, and then I get in bed, and then pound one of them on the computer, and then pound another one. Wake up the next morning. I mean, no hangover, pretty much for me.
It's a good way to hydrate
overnight. More vitamin C than an orange, and as much potassium as a banana. And so you're just replenishing. And so we're not saying that you should drink alcohol, but if you do.
And if you do. Or if you just work out really hard.
Oh, or that. You know what else I love?
I love that that's our second thing.
Work out. Do you know what's crazy is when I was training for fitness shows, one of the biggest things that my coach would always stress was that dehydration feels like hunger. So that's one of the earliest signs of dehydration is you feel hungry, which makes you eat. And he would always say, whenever you feel hungry, do not eat. Don't eat. Don't get fat. Drink water. Well, this honestly will help you maintain a healthy weight as well, because it'll keep you hydrated. So when you feel hungry,
where can they get it?
Drink water with Liquid IV first. You can, and they're donating 2.3 million servings in response to COVID-19 to hospitals, first responders, food banks, veterans, active military. I love this company. Liquid IV available nationwide at Target, Whole Foods now, Costco, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code Titus at checkout. 25% off anything you order when you use promo code Titus.
There's vitamins and stuff in it too, right?
Get better hydration today at liquidiv.com.
There's vitamins and stuff in it too.
Promo code Titus. I just told you.
Yeah.
I just told you what was in it. More vitamin C than an orange.
All I heard was, I heard it's like eating a banana and an orange. That's pretty much what I heard.
Also, glucose, sodium, potassium.
I gotta listen better.
These are electrolytes. Dun, 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 dun.
They should make.
Where do we go from here, by the way? So here's what I thought today. I was thinking, okay, so we've been through this crazy guy on a daily basis. Crazy shit's happening all the time. We've pulled out of the Iran agreement, which screwed us. We've actually screwed up trade with China. China's actually now trying to get soybeans from other places. Our finances, we've got $4 trillion more in debt because of taxes. This is just before all this shit happened.
This is what he usually wakes me up with.
No.
This is exactly what it sounds like. It's a list.
Here's what I found, discovered overnight.
So then we have, he wants to date his daughter too. Then he said that on television.
I just mean that kind of crap it's just petty. It's just petty. He's a creep. He bangs porn stars.
So all that stuff. Let's say all that stuff. He's been impeached. He's been impeached.
I think he's impotent now, though.
He's already been impeached. He's obviously the most cowardist, just so cowardly, this kid. And now we've got a global pandemic that wouldn't have happened had he done something within 72 days. So we have 110,000 Americans dead now because he didn't do his job. We have 40 million out of work. And now we just had the worst riots we've had since the 60s. I mean, they were worse than the Watts riots. And what's next? Like, the scary thing is we keep thinking it's going to, okay, all right, that's it. All right.
Yeah.
It can't get weirder, right?
Yeah.
And that's not the case at all. And my fear is Ice Cube's tweet, he goes, how many people want to put money down that this is the first president to drop a nuke on a city? And I thought, and the weird thing is you go, maybe, it's possible.
Ice-T also said that his phone is blowing up for interviews, and he said, I'm not coming on. Just re-air any interview I've ever done in the past. I still feel the same way.
Right. Nice.
Okay, then.
That's
All right, then.
I like that.
By the way, if you're feeling stressed out right now, like we all are, and I was out of it, which is why I wasn't sleeping.
And if you weren't, me bringing up what possibly could happen should have stressed you out.
After listening to the Titus podcast, you're going to need Feels. Premium CBD.
And a
Keeps
hug.
your head clear and a hug. Yes. CBD has been proven. I also just had this conversation with my sister, to greatly reduce anxiety, pain, and sleeplessness. So Feels, what I love about it is they deliver it to your doorstep, because you're not supposed to leave right now anyway, unless you're an essential worker. Then you really need this.
And thank you.
Yeah, and thank you. So all you do is you put a few drops under your tongue, right? You know how to do this.
I have some in my office, actually. During the day, sometimes I'm here, and I'll do what I do. I turn on the radio, and I start listening to what's going on in the news, and next thing I know, I'm doing 3 drops of Feels, so it calms me down.
There's no high, hangover, or addiction.
Nope.
You don't get weird. You just notice, you just feel better. It's just like you have to tune in 20 minutes later and think, oh, wow.
But there's a lot of studies with CBD that actually it causes, like, it's taken down like seizures in children that have
central nervous
system stuff. It calms your central nervous system. If you want to feel better without having an addiction to some sort of antidepressant, if you take them, take them. But I will say this: if you're feeling stressed, this CBD oil helps me tremendously. And you guys can tell I'm a little stressed sometimes.
No.
Why are you looking at me like that? I know.
No, I hadn't noticed that.
I don't like your
This
sarcasm.
made a huge difference for my mom, too, when
Yep.
she was sick. It helped her sleep, except she's always said she had technicolor dreams about oatmeal. My mom is an artist, though, and so she really was very imaginative. And so whereas not everyone would dream about oatmeal
Sounds
in vivid
delicious.
colors, my mom did. But man, did she start sleeping when she couldn't. Do you remember that?
Yep.
It was night and day difference.
That
And
was when I had to go get that was before, now I had to go get a
Marijuana
I had to
card.
go get a marijuana card so I could get her mom CBD oil.
Huh.
Yeah.
So
That's
I thought you didn't
and
need
that's
that
my story,
for
and I'm sticking to it.
it
I
was
thought
for
you could get
mom.
that over the counter. Even
It
though-
was for mom. Mhm.
Now.
Now.
This was 2
Oh,
years
okay,
ago.
okay.
This was 2
Yeah.
years ago.
That was why he went and got
Got
it,
it.
though. He had to go to a doctor and say he had headaches.
This is a great
And-
Asian guy. He goes, so what the problem you have? I just feel anxiety all the time. Okay.
It was that easy. Wow.
That's it. Here you go.
But you had to go, so he did that and paid all that stuff, and then you have to go somewhere else to get the stuff. He did all that for my mom. He's a good guy. Don't let anyone tell you differently.
No matter what I say.
Also, if you don't know anything about CBD, they have a CBD hotline, so you can call and ask any questions that you might have. Feels has us feeling our best every day. It can help you too. You can become a member today. They'll deliver it every month. By going to feels.com/Titus, you get 50% off your first order and free shipping. That's FEALS.com/Titus to become a member and get 50% automatically taken off your first order with free shipping. I did that. I done this now, and it does.
Wow, you
it's
seem
amazing.
excited about
it's
it.
It's half
You seem
off.
very excited
It's
about it.
quite a massive difference. It's pretty cool. So feals.com/Titus.
We all right, and guys, we're not kidding. We don't advertise anything that we don't like and don't use. Let's play a game real quick. What's the craziest thing can happen next?
Whenever you say let's play a game, it's gonna make children cry.
It's a little Saw.
Wait, he gets nervous.
I get the same feeling you get from Saw. Are you ready to play a game? Crap. No, what could possibly happen now? No one would have bet countrywide riots. Nobody would have bet global pandemic that basically killed 110,000 Americans. Okay, so now we've seen where it can go.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think's the next thing going to happen in the Trump administration? What do you think is the next nightmare that we're going to face?
Let's see. Coronal mass ejection.
So comet hits the Earth.
Comet hits the Earth.
Yeah, right. He'll find a way to.
Trump gets reaelected.
Not going to happen.
I can't
No?
take
Okay.
this conversation.
What'll happen is this: Trump will actually go into space. A comet's coming, going to hit the Earth. They're going to tell him, okay, we can't do anything. So what Trump will do is
SpaceX.
he'll make a giant banner put on the front of it that says Trump 2020.
Right.
So as it's coming in before it destroys the planet, Trump 2020.
Well, he's now looking.
Because the last thing he wants it to be about him.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see Bush? Daddy Bush came out and he's dead. He's dead.
That's one of the other things. Bush Sr. comes back to life.
Presidents that could form complete sentences.
I know.
Dying.
Wow.
Yeah.
Obama was on today. It was pretty good.
Yeah. Bush W. spoke out to the protesters in support. Mm-hmm. And Trump's response was, I noticed he didn't say anything when I was going through the great hoax. During the great hoax impeachment, he didn't say a word. And I just thought, he's speaking out to people who have been disenfranchised for hundreds of years, who have had loved ones gunned down in the street, telling them, we stand with you, a sign of love and support and solidarity. And this asshole makes it about him.
Hold on, everything's about me. First of all, it must be impossible to live in my head, because if it's not about me, I think, why is that not about me? How do we make this about me?
Right.
It's everything. You could be. I picture Gandhi, picture Trump on stage with Gandhi. And, okay, everybody, we're going to. The Hindus and the Muslims are killing each other. We got to stop it. By the way, I was the number one person who said we should be stopping this. Although I did eat his second sandwich, he didn't want it anyway.
And his first.
Yeah, exactly.
I am a genius. Many
Gandhi's
people are saying.
By the way, I did not want to not eat, but he ate everything.
Kept eating all of my.
I got an idea, though. We'll turn into that you were fasting to save the people. That's a good idea. Let's do that.
It's amazing that but his excuses are getting worse. The thing with him inspecting the White House while he was hidden in the bunker is the funniest thing, because the excuses are getting lamer and lamer. It's amazing how lame. There's no validity to it.
It's a beautiful
really, because there's
spray
always
paint.
been so much validity.
No, but at least
in
some of them are.
anything he's ever said.
Although there was thin threads in some of the early ones, at least there was something. This one is like,
we were having an inspection. I was putting down those roach things down in the basement.
It's comical.
I didn't know what was going on.
I'm in charge
And then
of that.
Ivanka wanted to play ping pong, so we went and did that.
Termite inspection, because I'm on the lease. I had to be present for the termite inspection.
it's a rental.
This is a Jared Kushner building, so
yeah, exactly.
We're not quite sure it's going to keep standing.
Do you want to give us any update? Is there anything
Oh,
going on?
yeah, there's a-
Nope.
The love boat.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in 14 years, I received some very nice
the Eagles
messages.
going back on tour.
Your penis is like the Eagles going back on tour.
Old, lonely, broke, wrinkled.
Not quite sure can do it still.
It doesn't carry the same pitch.
But
as it
when they hit
used
on
to.
that stage, boom, they nail it.
There are mirrors on the ceiling. There are.
Pink champagne on ice. Needs a
Yeah.
tuning fork. It's
Yep.
a lot. It's a lot.
It is. I wanted to thank you guys for putting out the word, pimping me out, and
We're so
Brian and I have really hit it off.
There was a guy
He really liked you.
from, was it Michigan?
Yes,
I
I
sent
think
it
so.
to you,
Yeah.
and he goes from
Yeah.
one straight male to another. You're one sexy bitch, or
Yes.
something like that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, kind sir.
Thank you,
I really appreciate that.
He needs those votes of confidence right now. So is that it? Anything else?
I think he's in contact with somebody.
Yeah.
He's in contact with one of the ones that you set up.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
You know. Oh, and by the way, if there was no global pandemic and we weren't in quarantine,
Yep.
we wouldn't have done that. She crossed the line.
That's okay.
And it's her
that
fault.
I
line,
would still have done
you,
it completely.
Yeah,
Man,
she doesn't.
I need to.
100%.
She really doesn't.
I
care.
tried to get Ryan a date for years. No one wrote in, did they?
You're a good matchmaker.
No
I
one
take it.
wrote in. I'm a
No one
terrible. No one. I was surprised.
With Ryan, but for you instantly.
I was surprised because when I tried to get Fetus, set up, I would announce the same thing, and here's what he likes, and nothing. And so when I announced it about you, I didn't expect any emails. and-
What? Why? Hey.
Because I just thought people aren't gonna
Oh,
do
yeah,
that.
They think we're doing a bit. They think we're doing a bit.
Yeah.
It's not a bit. Help.
No.
And by
The
the way,
Highlander.
Fetus he could still use a date too. So
Right.
if you want to date Fetus, he's a little bit older now,
Way smarter and way snarkier.
Older than a fetus.
way snarkier.
He's tougher now. He's
yep.
much tougher now.
He makes us laugh. So you can write in about Fetus, and I'll forward them to him.
We're horrible people.
No, we're good. He's
Yeah, I'm
Thrilled.
benefiting from the...
All right. And now, from sea to shining sea, continent to continent, and sometimes space, it's Bombshell Ray bringing you the Bombshell News.
I don't really want to do news today, but I will say day 79.
I never know.
Obama spoke today, and that was really nice and would
It's-
make you want to cry. Even if
The
you don't
actual
like
president
Obama,
spoke?
he spoke in complete sentences, and he said to young people of color, your lives matter and your dreams matter. And I just thought, oh my gosh, motivation, inspiration, unification, all of the things that we are so desperately thirsty for.
I'm lacking right now. The great thing about Obama speaking today, we were upstairs. He was editing something, and I was going over the Armageddon update, and I played it, and we were both just listening, and it felt like we'd been lost in the desert for 3 years, and someone brought up a giant icy mojito.
Yeah,
And
that's
they
a
were
good
like,
analogy. Yes.
I want you to
They're
know
like, "Oh."
this is for you. The leaves are good. They're healthy. Drink it. A lot of alcohol,
Yep.
a lot of rum in this.
Yep. Yep.
And it felt
That's right.
It was
Yeah.
like, like you said, a president that uses complete sentences and doesn't say
And-
it's bad. It's not good.
Me,
it's
me,
bad.
me,
Yep.
me,
Hey.
me. Many people are saying me, 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 me. I wish we could take his speeches and highlight every time he says me or I
Good.
or my. Oh, what did he say the other day at the protest? They were
They're bad.
very
It's bad.
bad,
Not good.
very bad,
Not good.
not good.
In fact,
No,
they're bad. What?
in a row? Bad, very bad, not good.
That's the brain.
Is this the best we can do? That's all I'm saying. Is this the best we can do?
So you're supposed to have in your brain, you're supposed to have millions of neural pathways, billions of
No.
neural pathways. Trump has 3.
Right, right.
I think good, bad, good, bad.
Good, bad, and me.
Yeah, and me.
Yeah.
Do you know what the problem with him is, other than so many problems, is that as a narcissist, he thinks, he doesn't think, he pretends that he knows everything. Because as a narcissist, that's the front. Everything happens because of me. I know everything. I'm better than everyone, which leaves zero space for actually learning anything.
Right.
Yep.
So rather than going and getting a real education, you have to humble yourself to your teachers and your classmates and to the principal and to, the dean or whatever. And to learn, he had his dad fake his records and get through school without going to school because he doesn't need to learn anything because he knows everything. And that's genuinely why he's so stupid.
Right.
And
Yeah.
stupid people ruin everything. And that's a hill I'm willing to die on.
His dad, there was something I read yesterday. His father actually, Trump tried to get him to make him 100% executor of the will, and his dad changed it so he couldn't be. Because he knew that.
So they knew.
Yeah,
His
they
mom
knew
said
that.
something similar too.
Yeah,
that he's-
they knew that he's not. Yeah,
And it's all encompassing though. He even tries to rewrite the past, saying, "I said that from the beginning." Yes, that's what I said.
Oh, how about
back
when the
then.
pandemic came out? He goes. By the way, he said about the virus. He's going. I have a knack for this. I have a knack for these viruses and medical stuff. I could have gone into.
Oh,
that
I have a
field.
knack. Yeah.
Only
I'm
100
really, I'm genius at this. I know this
If
better than anybody.
hadn't
I know more
become
than the generals.
president,
Yeah.
Many people are saying I could have done this. No one.
Not a person.
Not one.
Not one of
The
us.
CDC guy next to him was like,
A lot of us are concerned that you didn't put your pants on. A lot of us believe that you're wearing Velcro shoes. That's how dumb we think you are.
yeah. So Biden spoke yesterday as well, and it was really refreshing. And I flip to Fox because I like to get a pulse. I want to
Compare
know,
and contrast.
What my dad is taking in, and they played a large part of Biden's speech yesterday, and I was waiting, and it was compelling and moving, and I was waiting for them to then make fun of him,
Right.
and they didn't. They didn't. And then they told that people are frustrated with Trump for the tear gassing and the horses on the protesters, in Lafayette Park, and they reported that, and I was like,
Well, that's why Trump doesn't like them anymore.
But here's the thing: that you want to talk canary in a coal mine. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's
because
it.
when
Right.
Fox starts going, let's play
When they
Biden's
turn.
speech. Yeah. And here's the thing. We need youth now in America. I mean, we need
That's
youth
what
with
Obama
knowledge.
said. You just stole Obama's lines.
Oh,
He
did I?
steals. He steals.
Oh, I said this before. Obama was even on TV today, so
Thief.
by the way, and that's why I can never be president. Right? You know what? That question. Next question. I'd be the worst guy.
We have that president.
Yeah, we have him now.
That's a nasty question.
So we need youth. We need smart youth. And say what you want about AOC, whether you're right wing or not. She's really smart, really schooled. She's pretty brilliant if you check out her school record. Biden right now, though, we need Biden Biden's going to be like that uncle that's going to get us through the woods. We need him right now. We need, he's like, well, me and Obama walked through these before. Follow me, we can do it. And we need to get us out of the woods with Biden, and then we need to find some leaders that can really make a difference. Because fat old white men are over. It's done.
Now would be excellent time to announce Kamala Harris.
Yeah, but didn't we get really clear that watching all these white kids protesting with these black protests, I've never seen the variety, or it was really, the protests were really a picture of America. Black, white, I mean, there was Asians, everybody was out there, Latino, everybody was there, and there was some crazy people too, but we were all together in a way I've never seen it. And I thought, sometimes when horrible things happen, you have to just got to think, what's the upside? Well, the upside was this guy's such a moron, and he's such an evil moron, that all of us realize that this doesn't matter that he's a racist. What matters is he's destroying our country from the inside out, and he's doing it with Putin's help and Putin's blessing. And it is Putin's blessing.
Who's Putin's blessing?
Someone's
That's a band.
It sounds weird.
Doesn't it? Putin's blessing.
He's doing it with Putin's blessing. He is. And
That sounds like the name of someone's boat.
I don't think this. yeah, Putin's blessing. Yeah, wow.
To go out on Putin's
That's a
blessing
yacht.
this weekend.
That's an oligarch's yacht. Putin's blessing. But these people, I don't think they were just protesting for George Floyd. That was the initial. They were protesting for, we are losing democracy, and that ain't happening. And I think that's what was great to see. And I don't know what's going to happen today, but thank God those cops got arrested.
Australian man acquitted after 2 allegedly enter wrong home with machetes for sexual fantasy and scare stranger. 2 men sneaked into a bedroom with machetes after being hired to carry out a stranger's sexual fantasy of being tied up in his underwear and stroked with a broom, only to discover they had gotten the wrong address.
Wait, machetes or brooms?
They were
What
supposed
were they working
Because,
on?
by the way, that's really, someone really can't write well. Like, your handwriting's horrible.
in the Craigslist
I
ad?
wrote broom, assholes. Someone really made a big mistake.
The machetes were either a prop or something to use in the fantasy. It was unscripted. There was no discretion
It was
as
an
to
improv
how
group.
it would be carried out.
Man hires
It was
Second
in
City to break into house.
It was in Australia. I'm just
Second
lobbing
City.
all the facts to you.
All right, Ed.
It was $5,000 if it was really good.
Wait, that was the offer? That was an actual
To
offer?
be jerked off with a broom? That's
And a
the
mach-
weirdest.
And they brought a
No,
machete?
stroked with a broom. He made arrangements with a man on Facebook for people to engage in the role play, and then sent them his address before he later updated it after moving from the house more than 30 miles away.
Wait, he booked them and then moved?
No, I think that he had the
That's a
Facebook
busy-
set up to
From his old
engage
address.
role play, and then moved, and then needed to go back and update his address.
So people, update your address on settings all the time. So you're not sitting there tied to a chair waiting for the machete-carrying broom strokers to show up, and you're just disappointed.
It says that
But God,
eventually,
they're never showing up.
it says that eventually they stood over his bed and had a discussion whether or not he was Kevin for about 10 minutes. Are you sure you're not
Hey, mate.
Kevin?
It's Kevin. It's Kevin. You're Kevin, right?
So
You know Kevin?
eventually they
You're lying.
accepted
You're
their
Kevin.
error.
We know you're
Kevin.
Kevin. You go be Kevin.
The 2 guys left, one saying "sorry, mate" and shaking the guy's hand, the other saying "bye." The judge has
This
said
is during
that-
COVID? This is all during COVID?
That's
I'm
another
concerned
thing.
about the handshaking.
Yeah,
Not all the broomsticks
Whoa,
and
so
machetes.
if you're gonna break in and stroke me off with a broom,
At least wear a mask.
yeah, for God's sakes.
Don't elbow that.
According
Yeah.
to the court documents,
Is there droplets on that machete?
he wanted a broom handle to be rubbed around his underwear.
This is just...
First of all,
you want a broom handle?
You know, here's
back
the
to my
That's
dating
the other
story.
end of the broom.
this does not sound like this is Australia. I don't know. Most Australians I know would not want, would even be part of this.
You don't know a lot.
He wants what?
By the way,
There's a lot of
ladies,
machetes, though, right? A lot of bush.
Yeah,
bushwhacking.
yeah, oh, yeah.
Highlander
I get
does
the mach-
not require no broom required.
Nope, no broom, no
Well,
machete.
I'm glad you said rubbing around his underwear and not when you said broom handle. I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Right.
I don't want to know. Stop talking. Stop talking. Stop talking.
Pennsylvania woman allegedly kept her grandmother's corpse in the freezer for 15 years to collect her Social Security checks.
Why would you keep it, though? First of all,
True.
just
True.
She's still alive.
just the freezer burn.
That's like some.
Like if I leave ice cream in like for too long, it just gets nasty.
Maybe just you defrost her and put her in a recliner sometimes so that people...
whatever.
But why? You don't need to keep
Hi,
her though.
Social Security Association. We want to check on you. Oh, she's sleeping in the chair.
Roll her out.
Oh, well... Oh, you mean... Well, they've kept her frozen.
But why not just get rid of the body?
Well, they would have to dispose of the body, but then people would look for what happened to her, right?
But then there's a freezer.
I guess
She
Well,
was already in.
Body
She was already in the freezer. What is she like? Like is she?
hold on.
Hey, is your
The
grandma still
logic.
around? Yeah, she's right there. Like
She's just taking a nap.
yeah.
Just
You know what? We had the
Maybe
heat up last
they-
night.
we're trying this new
Maybe
thing.
they
Therapy.
lack work ethic?
Chirotherapy. She's doing
It's
cryotherapy.
Cryotherapy.
Cryo.
Therapy.
Crying
Cryotherapy.
therapy.
Not Cairo.
I'm doing crying therapy.
Cairo.
He's doing crying
No, we're
therapy.
going to
He's
send her to
doing a
Egypt.
lot
We're
of
sending her to
crying
Egypt for
therapy.
chirotherapy.
Ladies,
by
if
the way,
you want a man in touch with his sensitive side,
that's what you say.
who
You say-
doesn't need a
You say
broom.
she's on a trip around the world. She actually used her
Where's
money.
the ticket? And did she fly
She
it?
took it. Oh, I think she took a ship. She's doing.
on
They told her to go to
Putin's blessing?
Egypt. She's doing chirotherapy.
That- you just did a pun.
Saved it is what I did. Pull that. Wow. That's what I did.
I don't know.
Pulled back on the stick and got it out.
Okay.
Boom.
Speaking of stick, no. Yeah, I don't know. Why wouldn't you just bury her?
Get rid of her. Yeah. I mean, why would you?
Oh, because if you bury the body, and someone finds it, because they always find it. I've seen CSI. Then your fingerprints are all over. They think you killed her. If you just put her in the freezer, then you can prove you didn't kill her because her body's preserved. So at the time, if anyone does come a knocking, you can say she died. She's in the freezer. I was collecting her Social Security checks, which is way less of an offense than murder.
If it was a guy, he'd be making a grandpop. Is this stupid?
I hate you and I love you. Grandpa.
Which would literally be a popsicle. So she
So funny, wrong. Grandpa.
she is facing charges of abuse of a corpse, theft by unlawful taking, and receiving stolen property.
So she didn't get a murder charge.
No, her preliminary hearing is June 10th. So she just got busted.
So here's my question: how do you get busted for that? Like, if how long did you said for years? 15
police
years?
were responding to a report regarding human remains inside of the home. I don't know how. Someone told.
So if you listen, here's the thing: what's the moral line here? If you've already put grandma in the freezer to steal her money, what's the big leap to take the body to a bridge in the middle of the night and dump it in the water, or
Right,
chop
it's
it
the
up and
same
feed it to the
thing.
fish?
If you chop all of
'Cause it's
that,
out.
I guess she already.
Yeah, you put it in
messed
the.
with a
You
corpse.
had to wrap her. She had to like saran wrap her. I mean, it's like you were already dealing with a dead body.
Yeah, but then they might think you murdered her. Why would you dispose of the body?
I'm sorry, I don't see here. Here's where I'm having the moral quandary. She's in the freezer for 15 years. Yeah, I don't want to think that someone murdered me. I don't be an asshole. I don't be a douche.
I'm not a weirdo.
I've been taking her money for 15 years and her dead body's in the freezer. But yeah, I don't want.
I love her.
I don't want anybody to think I'm a bad guy. I
miss
gave
her.
her favorite pillow. She's in there with she got a little sampler on it. It says "God is great," and she's snuggling that.
Couldn't afford the taxidermy
Right, exactly.
procedure.
Or a funeral. I was
you
saving up
could've
money for
had
the
her
funeral.
Stuffed
Yeah, like a pillow.
and put her in a recliner.
This
is some psycho.
I'm just saying that, like, what's the moral line that they're not going to bust him for murder, but they're going to bust her for the other things? I get the Social Security and stuff, and what abuse of a corpse?
Stupid people ruin everything.
Yep.
Abuse of a corpse,
and they freeze their grandmothers.
Grandpop, man.
Romanian Shoemaker is promoting social distancing with his latest innovation. It's a pair of size 75 shoes that are each about 2.5 feet long. So,
wait.
Grigor Lup, a cobbler from the city of Cluj, is inspired.
By the way, I bought that at IKEA. About 2 Clujes.
He was inspired, never could put them together.
Nope, tried.
Inspired to create the long-nosed leather shoes when he saw people failing to follow social distance guidelines amid COVID-19 pandemic.
So he's built 2.5 foot long shoes.
You can get them right now online for roughly $115 per pair. They're about 2.5 feet long. They're listed as a European size 75. For reference, I wear a European size 38.5.
So whenever I hear a story like this, I think of your boyfriend that wanted to make gas cans out of and put jewels on them.
Genius. He wanted to make them out of precious metals.
What?
So he wanted to sell gas cans.
He was in a band. You know
fancy
how
gas
those guys.
cans.
And he had a cool truck, right? He had a cool truck.
No, that was a different guy.
Oh, she had a lot of guys. The point is,
we could have threw that in.
he would make gas cans. I'm just one in a long line, my friend. One long line. But he wanted to do gold gas cans
or platinum or.
This is not Trump. Okay, another
person,
and
then put emeralds and stuff on them and sell them.
Emeralds, rubies, yeah, totally.
Okay,
genius. Just when I thought you could possibly
make this any worse,
you go and do a thing like this and
totally redeem yourself.
Brilliant. I think he still lives with his mom.
Is that when you?
Not lying. My friend from high school told me that.
Is that when you drew the line? You're like, that product.
Oh, no, I was in.
No. She thought he was awesome at that point.
No. Honestly, at that point, I was like, God, he's an idiot. But I was young and.
He was going to bling up some gas tanks.
He had a nice butt.
Huh.
No, he didn't. He didn't really have a lot going for him. He was in a band. That was.
Lead singer?
Yep. And wrote the songs and wrote songs about me. So I was like, this is amazing.
All in. Yep.
I had no standards. We don't start out with standards.
Right.
By the time we're older, we're like bitter and hardened.
They're ground into you.
Oh, yeah.
I have one now.
I will never take that again.
Exactly.
I will never. Those were our wedding vows.
If you ever put diamonds on a gas can.
If you ever try
that was our wedding vows. That's right. Okay, so on this great day where we are uniting, you and me, I want you to know, this is the shit you better not try. And then we just listed.
Because I see you.
Yeah, exactly. You think I don't know you think it. I know you think it.
I didn't know before, but this time I know. I will know this time. I see the signs.
I do.
That's like him. Every time we mentioned fixing him up with anyone, he was like, you can't be gay. Which is really a sad low bar.
I think like, she just
you
has
have to like men. That's it.
Yes, you have to prefer. Look, I know nobody likes a penis. All right, I that's what I assume, right? Nobody likes a.
I'm pretty sure some people enjoy
a
penis.
Yeah,
that's
I like mine.
Not.
And machetes and
it's like your
broom
kids.
poles.
You like your own kids. I hate everybody else's kids.
Right.
I hate everybody else's penis too. But I like my own penis and my kids.
God.
It's not egg shaped.
Speaking of penises,
I actually like my penis more than my kids.
Well,
on that note,
we have to go now.
Guys, go to ChristopherTitus.com if you want to get any DVDs. We've got box sets. We've got singles of all my specials. Also, if you want to see Special Unit, please go to Amazon Prime and watch Special Unit. I just got a call today that there's a distributor that has called our people and they may want to do something with it. So we'll keep you updated on that. Bombshell Special is coming out in a little bit. We're working on that now. I think it's finished now. But if you want to hear anything about us, ChristopherTitus.com. And what's coming up? Anything?
Not a damn thing.
Hi, we're in quarantine. We're not touring. We will have an announcement next week on our new show here at the Combustion Lounge. We will be doing another live stand-up special pretty quick. And so we want you guys to be part of that. We'll be starting a new website called Combustion Live where you'll see who we're going to have. I can't tell them who we're having yet because I haven't locked it down.
Okay.
Okay, but it's going to be great. But thanks for listening and watching, people. Please subscribe on YouTube. Am I covering all the bullshit? Anything I'm missing?
Bring it home. Bring it on
Rachel
home.
special coming out.
Yeah,
The first time, if you haven't watched the first time, go
please
to
go to
Christopher Titus TV and watch the first time. All the Titus episodes are up. Yeah.
Guys, and thank you for your commitment to the Titus episodes. We put all 54 up. Go watch them. The first time it will rattle you a little bit. And thanks again for listening and watching the Titus Podcast. For myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray, and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
There could be only one currently.
This is current.
But maybe not.
Oh, he has hope.
There may be
There's some
two.
hope in there.
Do you hear? Do you hear a little bit of hope?
I see a tiny sliver of hope. I heard
a
it.
glimmer of hope in there.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna get it. He's gonna crash and burn. That's. He is.